Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. You know how we do. Before we get started, do your boy a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please do not forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when your boy is going live or dropping this heat, and click the join button, man. So make sure you join the member section because this video will probably be in the member section for a minute, because we got a couple of days before. Well, no, this is Friday. So tomorrow is game day. And there's no way I'm uploading this video probably till Monday, Tuesday. And just to get things clear, we're not shaking nothing up before game day. But as y'all know, I've been reporting on Shiloh and this bankruptcy case since the beginning of this thing, since it started. And that started oh my God, it's been a while. But if you want to catch up, just click the playlist on my channel, which says Shiloh's bankruptcy case, and we can go from there. So y'all ready to get started? We're gonna dig into an update that was dropped yesterday. Well, it dropped Wednesday. It was updated yesterday on Shiloh and his bankruptcy case. A federal judge has taken a look at the case and is ready to make a ruling. So we're going to see what the update is and what the judge has to say about everything that's going on. So y'all ready to get the party started? Y'all know how we get down. We ain't going to even do that right now. Yes, we are.
Welcome to the future of Colorado football.
So we're going to take a look at this thing. You see who's here. We using the same source. I told y'all we're not changing sources. From Brett Shortenberg of the USA Today, federal judge hears argument in Shiloh Sanders' bankruptcy case. In Denver, a federal bankruptcy judge heard arguments Thursday in the bankruptcy case of Colorado football player Shiloh Sanders and questioned whether there was enough evidence right now to make a ruling against Sanders that would prevent Sanders from discharging more than $11 million in debt. Whew, that's a lot of money. Judge Michael Romero issued no ruling after the court hearing, but he indicated that if he eventually denies the request for a summary judgment against Sanders, the case could go to trial to determine what Sanders' mental state was when Sanders allegedly assaulted a security guard at his school in 2015 when Sanders was 15 years old. And we quote from the judge, "If I denied the motion for summary judgment and we have a trial, don't you agree it's only the mental state that exists at the time?" Romero asked Sanders' attorney. "Is that the only issue I would have before me? I'm not going to try the whole blooming thing again." Sanders' attorney agreed. "What was going through the 15-year-old's mind at the time is what I think this case is about," said the attorney Victor Vite. Shiloh Sanders has turned over about $210,000 in this case. Sanders, son of Colorado coach Deion Sanders, so far has turned over about $210,000 into the bankruptcy estate along with his tax returns, bank statements, and copies of his endorsement deals, according to Carrie Riley, another attorney of who attended the hearing. She says Sanders also had his apartment inspected as he seeks to get his debt discharged in the bankruptcy proceedings. Sanders did not attend the hearing in court in downtown Denver as his team prepares to play Texas Tech on Saturday. He is a graduate student at Colorado and was Colorado's leading tackler last year. "We have been cooperating," Riley told the judge. So far, so good. It looked like we're moving forward on this thing, and some things about to start happening like I said in some of my other videos, they pushing along, but they still moving slow so they can get past football season and probably then just charge ahead. What was this bankruptcy hearing about? This was a critical summary judgment hearing about a central issue in Shiloh's bankruptcy case. Shiloh Sanders filed bankruptcy in October 2023, hoping to get out of more than $11 million in debt that he owed John Darjean, a security guard at his former school in Dallas. Debtors generally can discharge their debt by filing bankruptcy so they can get a fresh start, free from the oppressive burdens of his debt, as his attorney said. But there are exceptions in the law that prevents debts from being discharged in certain cases. One of them is if the debt stems from a willful and malicious injury by the debtor. And that's what Darjean has been saying all along. Which I'm saying, you grab a man from the back and try to take his phone, and he hit you with the skibbity baps, and he was just 15 and you couldn't take it. So it wasn't willful and malicious, it was self-preservation. In this case, Darjean's attorney has argued this is why Shiloh should remain on the hook to pay back Darjean every cent that he owes him. They say the debt should not be discharged because it stems from a willful and malicious injury that Shiloh inflicted upon Darjean in 2015 when Darjean was trying to confiscate his phone at school. Darjean alleged that Shiloh struck him in the upper chest with a roundhouse elbow, giving him permanent injuries, including spinal problems and incontinence. He hit him with the ooh-ah, get off me, son. Darjean then sued Shiloh for damages in civil court in Texas, where he presented evidence about what happened and won an $11.89 million default judgment against Shiloh after the trial in 2022. It's because Shiloh wasn't there. Darjean's attorney, Ori Raphael, argued that the judgment and findings from the Texas court are enough to establish that it was willful and malicious, even though those Texas court documents do not actually say those exact words. And right there is your problem. If those words are not in that document, you're not getting that judgment, dog. Because if the court didn't find that it was willful and malicious, and the judge wrote this verdict this way on purpose, purposely leaving those words out, because Shiloh didn't show up in court. So he didn't defend himself. He just won a default judgment. So that judge, whoever wrote this judgment out, they left those words out on purpose. I promise you they did. Judges know how to write their judgments out and their final thoughts on the summary of the case. And he did not put those words in there on purpose. I promise you he didn't. I think you should assume, based on these findings of fact and final judgment, that there is willful and malicious intent, Raphael told the judge. What was in dispute here? Shiloh and deionsanders previously said that Darjean was the aggressor, not Shiloh, but it might be too late to dispute that in court. Shiloh didn't show up for the trial about it in 2022 and now has attorneys trying to get him out of paying the judgment in the bankruptcy case at age 24. Darjean's attorney wants the judge to rule in summary judgment that Sanders' debt to Darjean is non-dischargeable because it stems from a willful and malicious injury by Shiloh. They say that Shiloh's assault against Darjean was established by a civil court in Texas, and they shouldn't have to relitigate that again in another trial. Yeah, but if the judge doesn't give you a summary judgment, what that means is you going back to trial and you're going to do it all over again. So you're going to have to reproduce all this evidence. Everything that was done in that first case is null and void, you're going to have to prove your case again. And that is what Darjeem is trying to avoid. But if the judge comes back and say, hey, we can't do this, we're going to have to do it. And the judge has already said he don't want to do it again. But now, if not, whole trial all over again. And if that's the case, and Shiloh gets to defend himself, he's all the way going to win that case. But let's finish. On September 17th, 2015, Shiloh Sanders did in fact cause physical harm and injury to John Darjeem by assaulting him, said the final judgment signed by a Texas judge in 2022. But you see this? On September 17, 2015, Sanders did in fact cause physical harm and injuries to John Darjeem by assaulting him. That's what the judge said. But the judge did not say Shiloh Sanders caused physical harm and injuries to John Darjeem by assaulting him with willful and malicious injury. That's what the judge didn't put in there. And that is the key. See, court is clearly words, and words matter when you're in court or when you're litigating something or when you're in an argument or sitting in the judge's chambers, or words matter. The way you present your words and say your words and use a particular word, it matters. Trust me, my sister's a lawyer. I was going to be one, but nah, I don't like to fight like that. In response, Shiloh's attorneys have argued that there is nothing in that final judgment or other findings in that case that satisfies willful and malicious intent under the law to make the debt non-dischargeable. Whether it was willful and malicious relates to Sanders' mental state at that time. We're only left to speculate about the mental state, what the mental state was. Patel told the judge. What happens if the judge rules against Shiloh? If the judge rules this debt is dischargeable under the law, it would mean that Shiloh would be on the hook to pay back Darjeem, who would then try to collect on Shiloh's possessions to get what he's owed. It would defeat Shiloh's entire reason for filing for bankruptcy in the first place, to discharge this debt. The judge took the issue under advisement Thursday and will rule later. It could come down to semantics and word definitions about what is willful and malicious. See, that's what I'm telling you. It's words, man. The way you use your words in court, because every word means something. If you say we are or we aren't, if you say he is and he isn't, is and isn't means something. Is means something. I'm worried it just becomes a semantics game because those two words aren't in the Texas court judgment and findings. See what I'm saying? Therefore, it's not willful and malicious, Raphael told the judge. Excuse me. And that's Darjeem's lawyer saying that. He said, I'm worried it's just because a semantics game, because those two words aren't in there in the Texas court judgment and finding. Therefore, it's not willful and malicious, Raphael told the judge. And he know it. He know he arguing for nothing. This is a court. Semantics are everything, Judge Romero told him. Like what the definition of is, Raphael said. That's exactly right, the judge said. Welcome to my world. That's what I'm saying. Words mean something in court. So if you don't use the right words, and that's what I'm saying, that judge left that willful and malicious intent off of his original judgment on purpose. He did it on purpose. What happens if the judge rules in favor of Shiloh? If the judge finds that facts aren't clear enough about whether it was willful and malicious, the case could proceed to trial to answer that question instead of the judge making a summary judgment now. The case would then continue as Darjeem fights Shiloh's discharge judgment on multiple fronts. His attorney essentially argued it's possible Shiloh could have been reckless or negligent instead of willful and malicious. True. You'd rather be reckless than negligent, but you'd rather be either one of those than willful and malicious. We're going to have a trial in front of your honor so you can find parsing through this minutia whether there was a requisite mental state of willful and malicious and malice. Willfulness and malice, Vital told the judge. What else did the judge say? In a separate matter Thursday, the judge said he wants Darjeem's attorneys to coordinate their pursuit of evidence in this case with the bankruptcy trustee who is in charge of locating assets and selling them for creditors. Darjeem's attorney recently asked the judge to expand the investigation into Shiloh's assets to include a subpoena for information about Shiloh's assets from Deionsanders and other third parties. See, now you're getting too nosy. You can't be involved in all these extra people, Judge. The trustee this week also has asked the court to be granted access to documents from the University of Colorado, Wells Fargo Bank, and Red Point Financial Group, an accounting firm, in order to access and round up Shiloh's property and financial conditions on behalf of the creditors. We're trying to find out who is paying who for the NIL endorsements. Where's the money coming from to buy a house and the cars and the jewelry and whatever else we find? Said Jeff Caruth, another attorney for Darjeem. Caruth said this may require forensic accounting. Mr. Darjeem, after waiting all these years, is entitled to his money, Caruth said. The judge said he doesn't want third parties in this case to be bothered for evidence more than once. So the judge said, I'm going to give you one shot to go find it. And probably told him, don't take too long. If you don't find nothing, come up out of there, get them people back their stuff, and we going to move on. Looking at the breadth of the document request you are doing, and knowing all the parties involved, and knowing the high profile of this particular case, I want to make sure that we do this in a coordinated fashion, the judge said. See, judge know what's up. He knows Shiloh big time, and he is Sanders, and the world is watching. Shiloh Sanders is playing his final season of college football this fall. He is starting 5 games for the Buffaloes, who are 6-2, but missed 3 with a broken forearm. This is true. Now, that's our update. Yeah, that's it for that. So, they're going to get to do the forensic audit. And the judge is probably not going to give them a summary judgment, which means they will have to go and try the case again. And if they do that, it's all but a done deal. Shiloh is going to win that because now you got to present evidence says that Shiloh tried to hurt you on purpose and he was doing it to hurt you. So you got to prove that fact. It ain't up to Shiloh to prove that he wasn't doing it. The Darjeem's attorney has to prove that those were Shiloh's intentions. And if that's the case, you're not winning that case, dog. I don't see it. But y'all know what time it is, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Y'all know whenever something else pop up, I'm gonna let y'all know. So this probably gonna go up Monday, Tuesday, and we'll talk about it then. Other than that, man, I'm gonna be out. Y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, Colorado gonna win this game this weekend. It's might be close. They might win by 12, 13, 14 points, maybe 21. It's gonna be a good game. I just hope they don't come out flat, you know, play to their best ability. They can beat Tech. I just hate going to Lubbock because I've been telling you about all types of crazy things can happen in Lubbock. And when big games show up, we already know it's going to be tortillas everywhere. I've been telling y'all, they like to throw the tortillas down there. It's custom. You know, it's a thing. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. But anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good day. We out of this mug. Peace.
Thank you. God bless you all, man. Be safe.